So what do ESG or environmental social governance funds and MrBeast have to do with today's video? It should be a fun one. Hi, my name is Pennington. Welcome back to the channel where we talk all things funds, finance, and how to start and scale your own investment fund. Today, we're gonna be talking about ESG funds. I was gonna use green because green, eco, but my green marker is trash, so I'm gonna just throw that back there. We're gonna use a different color here. But also, how does this play in with MrBeast? And what I mean by MrBeast, the king of YouTube, MrBeast, actually reached out to a bunch of us creators.
We're following up TeamSeas with TeamSeas.
And we need your help to get 30 million pounds of plastic and trash out of the friggin' ocean.
And asked that we create a video on a certain topic. I'll come up in a few minutes. Now, ESG funds or environment social governance funds, or just sustainability funds, have become very popular over the last decade. From 2009 to 2019, ESG funds raised a total of $10.39 trillion, which is nothing to bat your nose at. It's a huge amount of money. However, since 2019 till now, that number has gone from 10 trillion to over $51 trillion has been raised, committed to, or deployed into economic, social governance types of funds. There is this huge wave of money and capital flowing into projects, developments, research. Anything around sustainability is hot right now, and the money is there to prove how much investors, companies, institutions, and governments are dedicated to solving social and climate issues. Now, let's make a quick clarification. There are specific ESG funds where you can qualify as an ESG fund. This can be a little bit difficult though. To actually be a legit ESG fund that hits all the criteria, there's a lot of compliance that goes into this, because you are claiming you're gonna go out and do great things for the world, but some people claim that and then do other things to grab all the tax benefits. So make sure before you go file for an ESG specific fund, you're ready to handle the compliance and all the paperwork and filing to qualify as this. Now, the other side of it is you don't actually qualify as an ESG fund, but you do things and invest into projects that are near or around ESG, not officially qualified, but are near in the green energy space. And we've seen a lot of funds pop up like this as well. Now, I'm a person who follows the money. When you have 51 trillion with a T, trillion dollars flowing into an asset class, that makes my ears pop up. And this is a huge tidal wave of capital flowing into ESG. And guess what happens when capital flows in? All ships tend to rise. We actually have a bunch of people in our Black Card group launching environmental type of funds that are raising capital very easily. I don't know, I'm just throwing this out there. If you want to do a business together with me, I would love to launch an ESG fund or an environmental fund. There is just so much capital right now trying to flow into that. They just need a good fund and a vehicle to do so. Sorry, that was a side note. But really, if you guys want to do something, comment below or DM me or like this video or whatever it is. So that's one side of the coin, is actually being a fund raising the capital. The other side of the coin, you see here on Bloomberg, $35 trillion in sustainability. They say 25 trillion isn't being used, which is that's a lot of dough. That's a lot of moolah. 25 trillion that isn't doing much. It wants to be invested into projects or things that help move along a green energy or whatever their certain focus is. It's not being deployed. So if you are an engineer, a creator, an entrepreneur, an inventor in this space or in other spaces, I would move to this space. There is too much capital here for whoever can figure out even minor upgrades to certain energy problems that we have on the planet. It looks like a lot of money will flow your way. I mean, even look, you have huge evaluations on Brookfield Renewables, Clearway, First Solar, Solar Edge Technologies. Any company that is doing something special in the ESG space tends to get really high evaluations, a lot of money flowing to it. So I'm just throwing this out there again. If you want to partner up, if you're an inventor, I would love to get in the game with you. Now, if you guys are more on the fund side and want to launch a fund, we have other videos on our channel that walk you through about structuring an actual fund, how to raise capital, how to bring it all together. But this is such an interesting play that it brings me over to this guy over here, MrBeast, the one and only Mr. Jimmy Donaldson, the king of YouTube. The dude is approaching 100 million subs on YouTube. He's one of the biggest, fastest growing channels ever. The guy's insane. So he reached out to a bunch of creators. I got a private video from him the other day asking creators to make content around environmental things, and specifically about cleaning up the ocean.
Every single dollar we raise, there will be one less pound of plastic and trash in the ocean.
Now, again, whether you stand politically and what you think the best option is, we can all agree we want less trash in the ocean. Trash and plastic in the ocean, it just doesn't belong there. It's not natural, and it's something harmful to the entire planet. So what MrBeast put together, which is really cool, 2 years ago, they raised over $20 million to plant trees around the world, which they have done a crazy good job at. This time, they've partnered with TeamSeas. So TeamSeas has partnered with them to clean up the ocean. Every $1 donated apparently cleans up a pound of trash and plastic out of the ocean. They also find that 99% of all of the trash in the ocean comes from 1% of the rivers. There's just a few countries that just dump all their trash in the ocean. They actually go to those riverbeds, clean them up, and try to set up places so that the people there aren't just throwing trash in the ocean. The company seems pretty credible. Here's their website here from TeamSeas. They look awesome. MrBeast has set a target of $30 million raised towards TeamSeas, which is hopefully gonna pull out 30 million pounds of trash and plastic out of the oceans. And if they partner with MrBeast, I'm guessing they're pretty darn credible. So if you want to be part of the movement, click the link below.
For every $1 donated, this much trash comes out of the ocean. And for $5, this much trash comes out of the ocean.
So that actually is a good amount actually that they pull out. It's pretty impressive what they can do. And no, this doesn't stop all the problems of everything that's going on in the world, but it does help. And it shows that regular people are willing to, again, put money towards these types of things. Now, with that, back over to ESG Funds. Larry Fink, BlackRock's CEO, came out the other day and said the next 1,000 unicorn companies will all be around the environment, green energy space, which is a bold claim to make, but I mean, I agree with him. You see that much capital that needs to, and actually under ESG mandates, has to be in companies that comply with their standards. That's why, back again, $25 trillion is sitting on the sidelines waiting to be deployed into companies that meet the requirements for ESG. And to Larry Fink's point, I don't think he's that wrong. I mean, again, he's the CEO of BlackRock. BlackRock's fed back. They pretty much do whatever they want anyways. They're not really a real company. I'm gonna go on a rant here, but they get backed by the Fed. It's really the government's money that they're gonna back. So if he says the next 1,000 are gonna be unicorns, he just does it. He prints as much money as he wants and puts it in those companies, and bam, poof, he's a prophet, he's a seer. He can, see the future. In reality, it was a self-fulfilling prophecy, and BlackRock just does whatever the freak they want. They actually run the world. This is a side note. That's a good rabbit hole though on YouTube, and we've made a few other videos on that as well. But if you're one of those companies and can get in front of a tidal wave, what I've learned from some of my very best mentors in my life, they say, Bridger, when there's a tidal wave coming, instead of trying to stop the tidal wave, grab a boogie board and go with it. Go with the trend. Don't stop the internet when it was coming in 2000. I don't like the internet. It's going to ruin our world. Well, maybe you were right, but you didn't make a lot of money when you were right. Cell phones and social media is going to kill our kids, and we're going to stop. Well, you probably didn't make much money with that thesis. Now you can stop things, but I agree when there's a tidal wave coming, a $35 trillion tidal wave coming into something, it's probably a good time to grab a boogie board and go with the wave. So again, I'm throwing this out there. Entrepreneurs, investors watching this, send me a DM. I want to partner with you. I want to help you scale. I want to be part of one of these next 1,000 unicorn companies. We'll put a fund together. We'll do the whole thing. It's going to be awesome. Additionally, the link below is for TeamSeas. You can go where $1 cleans up $1 of plastic in the ocean. And we are trying to take over YouTube today as creators. So with that, thank you guys so much. We'll see you on the next episode. Comment below, like this video, subscribe if you can. Love to see you guys on future videos. Thank you so much. See you later.